All right, the ProCurStrategy.com TSL3 opening weekend. It's day 2. I'm DJ Wheat. Joining me is Husky, and it is the round of 32 with match 3 here. mouz.HasuObs, our Protoss player, taking on TLAF Liquid HuK, another Protoss player, and HasuObs, our blue Protoss, will be spawning in the northeast position here on Shakuras, while HuK, the red Protoss, will be spawning in the southwest position. This is a best of 3, and who will advance? I don't know, but I'm excited for this matchup nonetheless.
Now, as I mentioned in the earlier stages of the game, when I met HuK at MLG Raleigh, keeping in mind he won MLG Raleigh, he said that he does not like Protoss versus Protoss that much because he doesn't feel comfortable using his Colossus. Now, I feel like I was talking to an infant HuK back then because he has grown so much since then, so we cannot, judge what he said that long ago. He's been living in Korea basically since then and has had tons of success in the GSL. And the GSL is the most prestigious tournament in StarCraft 2 that there is. So to have any level of success in that says a lot about your ability to play StarCraft 2. HasuObs is going to have his work cut out for him. But again, in PvP, a lot of times it can come down to early game micro if one player does go that 4-gate. So if a player is less confident in their abilities in the long game, they're most likely to go that 4-gate. However, this map, there is a long rush distance, so it can be a lot more risky if because you have to set up that proxy pylon. If that gets taken out, your rush is delayed and you will be extremely far behind.
And I just saw HuK say OMG. I thought maybe we'd see some follow-up to that, something amazing happening, or he forgot something, or I don't know. But nothing follows. So we're going to have probes just checking things out in each other's bases. HasuObs is going to send his blue hero probe directly to the base of HuK. Sees that gateway about to finish, both pylons down, going to kind of like beat away on it. Say, haha, I can get away with this, but a probe does come out. Gateway is finished, nothing coming out of it yet. On the other side, Psycore already about 50% done here for Hasu, whereas HuK has just put it down. It's about 30% right now, and HuK will see that as he goes in, but nothing coming out of that gateway as of yet.
It does seem like, I think HuK was probably saying that he may have delayed his build by accident just a little bit. If you look at the production tab, everything is just further behind. He doesn't really have a worker advantage or anything like that. He actually has almost identical amount of gas to his opponent, so it just seems like his opener wasn't completely polished. Maybe he was focused on microing that probe or something, and usually in a lot of matchups that isn't a huge deal, judging by these far spawn distances, but in Protoss versus Protoss, you need your warp gate as quickly as you can a lot of the times, and so just delaying that by a couple of seconds can be a huge deal. You can see that Hasu's warp gate technology is much further ahead than HuK, so that's something that's going to have to be in the back of HuK's mind, is that he can't do a Korean style 4-gate where you're getting that warp gate ridiculously fast because it's already been delayed. So that's already one build that he has to throw out the door, and it's also one build that he may be vulnerable to just based on that delay alone. So at the high level of play, even seconds like that in the early game can be devastating, although HuK does have a probe on the center right side. Looks like he may try and set up a proxy pylon here, and you can use that to warp units on the low ground, but HasuObs smells something in the air and is going to see it and take it out.
Oh, yeah, we looked at the crystal ball, and Hasu saw it, and you know what? Phenomenal play. I cannot give these players enough credit when they do stuff like that, because it's such an obvious place for like a proxy pylon to go down, especially in a PvP. So why aren't you using that little bit of APM to indeed check for that? And he did. Now, interestingly enough, he did not take it down quite yet. Was trying to take out the probe, as Hasu's going to put his own there, and HuK is going to let that one live as well. So there, it's canceled finally. HuK's going to go back. Oh, I'll take care of that. It's going to see it's gone. So HuK still has this opportunity for pressure, as he's going to put up another pylon to sort of give a separate attack route here. Now, meanwhile, checking out the bait. Yes, base 1, 2, 3, 4 warp gates, as we see 3 over here for Hasu, and we do not have a 4th going up quite yet.
So HuK is going to put the pressure on here, and now I was a little bit worried because his first Zealot did take a lot of damage, but now he's going to be going up against a 3-gate. Of course, he does have the 4, which means he will have a slight unit advantage. However, his first Zealot is weakened. This first Zealot is very crucial, because you can see right here that both players do have that one Zealot. Both Zealots are going to go down at the exact same time, so it is going to come down to the micro here. Warping in a Zealot right on top of the Stalker's force field is going to trap a lot of these Stalkers inside the main base. HuK is actually in a lot of trouble here, as he is going to snowball effect, basically lose these Stalkers, which once you have one less Stalker, all of a sudden you are in a lot of trouble because you begin losing Stalkers much more quickly. Just looking at the units lost tab there, that tells lots about how this game is going so far. And in this matchup, you need every single unit you can get at every second of the game, because basically both players going similar builds. However, we actually have a Twilight Council on the way for HasuObs. Looks like he's going to try and rush towards Dark Templar.
Yeah, and actually this was really, really nice by HuK. He decided to just put his units in a defensive position to make sure that Hasu wasn't going to be able to take out that pylon. And what happened there is HuK actually got 2 Stalker kills, one almost getting down there as well. So using those Zealots very nicely, they were actually on a move command. So HuK definitely punished that as well. And with this little army, he might be able to deny potential expansion from going down as well. So he's just going to hold outside. However, attacking, I don't think it would be smart here at this time. We do have the Twilight Council down now for Hasu, and what will we see coming out of that?
There are 2 options. He can either go for the Dark Templar or for Blink. Either one is going to give him a huge advantage. Just the fact that he held off a 4-gate using 3 gateways of his own, that means HuK is going to be super far behind. You can see him actually going for a Robotics. He's trying to figure out how to best follow this up. We are going to see Blink on the way, by the way, which means to me that Hasu will most likely be aggressive here, and as long as he micros that Blink just a little bit, it's going to be almost impossible for HuK to deal with, because his Stalkers do not have Blink, and HuK may try and go for the Immortal just to do a lot of upfront damage. Stalkers do count as armored, so they take that initial damage. Every time the Immortal shoots, it's doing that full damage. So it may be, it's still going to be difficult though, because you can actually Blink the Stalkers directly on top of the Immortal and snipe it. So we will see. I think that Hasu in a great spot here, keeping in mind he held that off with only 3 gateways, which is nothing that is easy to do. Both those proxy pylons are also extremely vulnerable, which could supply block HuK should Hasu decide to destroy them.
So right now in the middle of the map, HuK with a few Stalkers. He's got a Zealot Sentry mix at the top of his ramp. He is trying to chrono out a few Immortals, and I really, really like that idea, especially against this army. Meanwhile, HasuObs is going to finally move forward and get rid of the pylon that's just south of his base, so no more sneaky warps in. I'm not sure that he has vision of this other pylon yet, and he does not, but eventually he will, especially if he does take any vision in the middle. But here comes HasuObs moving in through the middle, and he is going to now see that second pylon, take it out as well. So just kind of cleaning up the trash around his base, getting everything out. Blink is well done, and now the robotics facility is down for Hasu. Still a little bit sort of in the grand scheme of production, though, while he's keeping up with production on the 3-gate, you know, if he does decide to go for Colossus off of this, he is going to be a little bit behind HuK here, as the first one is coming out. He's also got an Immortal down as well. So this will be an awesome clash of unit composition between these 2 Protoss players.
Yeah, it's going to come down to that Blink micro. Now, unfortunately for HuK, is that he's not going to be able to afford the Thermal Lance anytime soon, and if he does start it, it's still going to take a long time to get it. His Colossus will spawn, but Blink Stalkers can take out the Immortal, take out the Colossus very quickly, especially if he baits the Zealots out to the right side, then blinks past them to the left and snipes those before the Zealots can be fully effective. And we actually have an expansion going on the way for Hasu as well. So I think as far as the unit combination goes, Hasu, as long as he micros well, will be more than okay. However, he is going against HuK, who is known for his insane micro, and HuK, though, does have a lot of Zealots which do not take the additional damage from Stalkers, so they survive a long time, but Blink Stalkers can run away from them very effectively. So right now, Hasu does have the full map control. I am looking at the army size tab. It does look like 79 for HuK and only 74 for Hasu. Part of that is because of that expansion. So if HuK wants to try and basically have everything in his favor as much as possible, he's gonna have to attack before that expansion kicks in at all. Otherwise, he will fall really far behind. However, he does have 1 Colossus, 2nd Colossus on the way, and the Thermal Lance upgrade is nearly complete. So he'll probably move out here once he has that 2nd or 3rd Colossus.
Yeah, and this observer from HasuObs going over his main right now is going to see oh so much. He sees the robotics bay getting an upgrade. He sees that another Colossus is about ready to come out. So he smartly takes all the way around the path, all the way around, and gets a lot of info out of there. Meanwhile, HuK is moving forward. No, don't move those Stalkers forward. And he moves 3 Stalkers forward that will do absolutely nothing. In fact, 3 more might get caught. Oh my god, yes, he blinks into position. And the backside of HuK's army not quite ready for that one. He does just have the one sentry and a bunch of zealots, but without a stalker count to kind of compete with that, it will be a little bit tougher. One immortal in there too. We have another Colossus joining the party. And so I like how HasuObs just kind of like, I will sit in the middle of the map right now. However, HuK might be able to get a good little Protoss sandwich in here if he's not careful. Looks like stalkers are going to move out. He does move forward. A couple shots do come out from the Colossus, and now we see HuK putting his opponent on the run.
Yeah, now this is going to be HuK's chance. He did lose 5 Stalkers needlessly there a little bit earlier. Isn't going to be enough, though. I love how HasuObs running to his base and can easily blink up inside the main base. As long as he doesn't misclick, all of them will get away. Of course he doesn't, so now he is up inside the base. And if we do look at the army size tab, 107 to 93. However, a lot of that is actually a probe advantage towards HasuObs, so these armies are very even. However, there is more Colossus for HuK, but there are so many Blink Stalkers now for HasuObs. It is going to come down the micro. There's the Blink I was talking about. He is able to snipe one Colossus. No, it does back up, and the one for HasuObs is on the high ground, though, roasting away the Zealots. It's got to come down to, can he keep these Stalkers alive? They are taking a lot of damage. Got to blink over here, though, trying to snipe the second Colossus as well. He does get it, and so now all of a sudden, HasuObs' Colossus is having a shooting gallery fun time, and it looks like HasuObs is going to win that battle. Not a huge surprise because HasuObs was able to micro perfectly. That shows you the power of Blink Stalkers. HuK is not giving up, though. He's still sending in these armies to the right side, but he is quickly running out of steam.
Yeah, one immortal goes down. He kept that guy alive for so long. He does manage to take out another Colossus. Oh, and HuK says GG just as he warps in some final stalkers there. And very interesting battle there. If we kind of deconstruct that just a little bit. In fact, I do have it open. I just kind of wanted to see what we saw there. Husky, it seemed like HuK paid so much attention to his zealots that he kind of let those Colossus get in that bad position with those stalkers. Some great blink to surround and just almost one-shot those guys. And once those were out, the Colossus of HasuObs who were just safely inside his natural base, plugging away at those zealots, kind of broke down that army of HuK, and a battle of attrition was fought. And HasuObs also having that base advantage there, he came out pretty easily on top. So, what do you think about that matchup? We saw the second Nexus up as well. HuK was a little behind there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, basically, I saw the replay open as well. It was 27 probes to 39 at the end, and I did rewatch that battle, and that shows you the importance of positioning of the Colossus. HasuObs did not even have Thermal Lance that entire time, but if you looked at the positioning of HuK's Colossus, they were so close that they might as well not had Thermal Lance, which did allow those Stalkers to just blink in there and snipe them immediately. So HasuObs, using the Colossus on the high ground, was able to hold that off, and then Thermal Lance upgrade, not only finishing right after that battle, but again, not only did he have more than 10 more probes, but he also had the expansion advantage. HuK didn't have anything on the way, and I am looking at the units tab. The only thing HuK had left was 4 Zealots and 2 Immortals, which is just not enough to hold off any sort of counterattack, plus his macro was behind, so I am really impressed with HasuObs' play that game. However, HuK did donate 5 Stalkers to charity, which played a huge role in that last battle, so we'll see if he's going to make any similar mistakes in the next game, or if HasuObs is going to take him 2-0.
I think you make a great point there, Husky, about those 5 basically free stalkers, because I don't know that anyone would have expected to just see a blob of stalkers taking over Xel'Naga Tower. But it was a really smart move by Hasu because he had undeniable control of that middle there. And, I mean, look at the benefits that he got from there. Those 5 stalkers could have come in huge in that battle. Not to say that it could have necessarily won it, but when you're about even, and we already knew off the bat that HuK was a little bit behind, just throwing those free units out there is never going to make things any easier for the player. So can HuK bring it back in a best of 3? HasuObs, the guy that clawed his way through the final TL Open qualifier, or TL Open event, which was the last TSL3 qualifier, number 8, and event TL Open number 15. He made it through. He fought through 9 rounds to win. Put him here. He certainly deserved his spot. Now the question is can he potentially 2-0 HuK, or will HuK bring it back and take us to a full 3 games? Well, we're going to find out soon, folks, so do not go away, as game 2 between HasuObs and HuK will begin after this.